Joburg Today recently attended the final dress rehearsal of Joburg Ballet's Cinderella Waltz, now running at the Joburg Theatre. Ian MacDonald, the artistic director, shares with us his inspiration for this ballet piece.
Cinderella is one of those fairy tale classics. I really based it on the storybook. I've actually got a daughter who's 7 at the moment, so when I choreographed this 3 years ago, I really had children in mind and how they were reading it and how they were perceiving it. So the ballet you see is literally my interpretation of the great classic story. I think for me, Cinderella is that love story that everyone loves to get their prince at the end of the day. There's hardship, there's some tough times that you've got to go through, but at the end of the day, you get that prince that you've been searching for your whole life. So you've got to stay optimistic in life, and when things are down, it can turn around, and who knows who's waiting for you at the end of the road. I would love it to travel all around South Africa, but unfortunately, due to funding constraints, we're only going to be performing here at the Joburg Theatre. The company's going to keep working. We have got what we're calling studio soirees, so we're going to invite the audience, public, into our rehearsal space, and we're going to turn that into a little miniature theatre, and we're going to do performances for them of a mixed program. I want to try and get the company to do a little bit of the contemporary works and then some of the great classical pas de deux, so we can show the diversity to the audiences, and it's in an intimate environment which I think audiences really enjoy. It's not on a big stage, and you can really get to see the dancers up close and personal.
We also spoke to the ballet's lead cast of London-based ballerino Owen Thorne and prima ballerina Bernice Silvius on their preparation.
Me playing the prince, I actually really am trying to pitch it for Cinderella, because although I'm a principal role, the show's called Cinderella, not Prince. And so I really need to create a character that works for the ballerina that I'm dancing with. And it takes just a bit of time to find the person that is best suited for her. It's been really great. I would say one of the biggest challenges for me has been the altitude. I live in London, and that's a much lower altitude, so I find that sometimes I can get fatigued much faster. But luckily, it actually is such an issue that on the side of the stage, they actually have oxygen canisters that you can breathe in, which I am taking full advantage of, so I don't really have too much of an excuse for that. You know, I guess it's something that good wins over evil, you know, that it's a happy ending. I don't know, I mean, it's funny because as a kid, I loved Cinderella. You know, I liked the Grimm fairy tale, I liked the Disney version, and it's something that's haunting and everyone can relate to, you know, being the underdog and then winning in the end and finding Prince Charming. So I guess it's sort of just an everlasting story. I'm
a little tired now, but I'm glad that the final dress went well. I try and not think too much about the whole big deal about opening night. I just try and think that it's another performance, but also the company's so excited, so it's actually a lot of fun to do opening night because everybody's got that little bit of extra adrenaline for the evening. I think the hardest part for me is obviously the acting scenes during Act 1, and there's a little bit more, which we call the kitchen scenes, because there's so much happening, there's so much furniture you have to move, you have to remember which packet to take where, you have to help dress the sisters, there's just a lot happening on stage, and it's strange, it's not actually the dancing bits that I'm so worried about, it's all the other stuff, all the prop things that I'm scared I'll forget to bring somebody's hat on or forget to take the broom off or something like that. So honestly, that's the scariest bit at the moment. Magical, it really is, and it's so funny because today I was in the dressing room and they had started, and you can hear a little bit of the chatter in the audience, and there were some audience members and there were a few kids, and when the curtain opened, I could just hear them all go, and that is just the best. Then you just know it's magical for them as well.
I'm Lira Viaggi for Joburg Today.